and then if there's additional time before 6, then we'll take additional information items. How's that? And do I need to make a motion to do that?
While they're sideboarding, we have, if we did 3 minutes per speaker that I have cards for, we have 45 minutes worth of public comment.
Yeah, maybe a motion to adjust the agenda and move things tomorrow, because the other informational things will take some time, but not critical for today.
Okay, what we're going to do is we'll take public comment on this, and then our DAG says that we probably can go to about 5:15 on the, continuing on agenda items, but at 5:15 we're going to have to start taking our main public comment, and then any informational items that remain will get moved to tomorrow.
I'm sorry, I have 15 cards that basically want to speak on general comments, on general public. These cards that are introduced by the cabs, I don't have in this stack, but they say speak on various things. So if the cabs decide they want to speak, I have 8 more here.
Okay.
So we are stuck on time right now.
Okay, then let's do this. Let's go ahead and take public comment on the on this particular informational item, and then we're going to go to general public comment. Anybody from the public have any comments on the law enforcement practices informational item? Okay, there being none, do I need to move? Do I have a motion to move this up, or do I have the discretion to go ahead and just move the public comment up at this point in time?
No more public comment, right?
I'm going to make a motion that we move today's public, end of the day public comment period to basically right now. Okay, I have a motion and a second. I'm going to take public comment on this. Okay, anybody have any public comment? Anybody opposed to doing it that way? Okay, bring it back to the board. Any comments from the board? Being none, let's go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? None? Okay. We are going to go ahead and start the public comment period. Vice Chairman Rob, do you want to just go ahead and read off names?
Between the handwriting and my ability to read, I think the first one, his first name is Cliff.
Yes.
Okay.
Just one housekeeping matter. We got a lot of cards. I'm going to be very strict on the 3-minute rule. So we have 3 minutes and 15 seconds before that 3 minutes is up. Vice Chairman Rob is going to give you a warning, and then after that, I want you to basically stop talking at your 3-minute time limit. Okay?
I'm Cliff Gardner. I'm here before you today representing Rural Heritage Preservation Project. Rural Heritage Preservation Project is made up of a small number of older people like myself who are concerned that much of what is going on in America today is serving to destroy all that America has been about. Today I appear before you asking that I be allowed to enter certain data into the record. We are concerned that in the past, the Nevada Department of Wildlife has published and disseminated data based on false assumptions. Our greatest concern is information that appeared on page 4 of a publication titled Nevada Division of Wildlife Report Sheep Management Plan. Therein, reference is made to Figure 1, indicating that historically there were more than 30,000 bighorn sheep scattered throughout the Great Basin prior to the coming of white men to the region. Beginning in the late 19th century, however, commercial and illegal hunting, competition with livestock, and the effects of livestock diseases caused bighorn to decline to no more than 2,000 to 3,000 animals. Believing such information is misleading, irresponsible, and hurtful, we at Rural Heritage Preservation Project undertook to determine for ourselves the truth regarding the historical status of bighorn within the Great Basin. Not surprisingly, we found such assumptions totally false. In truth, it appears that historically, bighorn were no more abundant during the early to mid-1800s than were deer or sage-grouse. The truth is, wildlife of every kind have benefited because of settlement, because of agriculture and the range livestock industry. To illustrate this, and for the purpose of setting the record straight, I am submitting the following documents into the record and into your care. First, I enter a document titled Rural Heritage Preservation Project Finding of Facts, Historical, Scientific, and Economic Analysis. This document should be a must-read for every person working for the Department of Wildlife. If any part of that information presented herein is to be found incorrect, we would like to be made aware of it. The second document I present is a paper that was recently completed by Assemblyman Ira Hansen. Essentially, Assemblyman Hansen in his research found the same thing as we have found. It too should be a must-read for all who work within the Department of
15
Wildlife.
seconds.
And third, the third item I want to enter into the record is an article that was written by Dr. Wayne Burkhart addressing the issue of historical sage-grouse numbers or abundance within the...
Mr. Gardner, okay, looks like you have that in writing. You're at the end of your 3 minutes, so why don't you just go ahead and submit the rest of your statement, and we'll put that in the record.
Okay.
And we'll get it disseminated to all the commissioners.
I'm submitting as well as the documents.
Okay, yes, that's fine. Okay, thank you very much, I appreciate it, and your understanding. We got a lot of bear people here that really want to get
That's right.
get on the microphone as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, next one up, Kat Simons, I believe is the name.
Hi, my name's Kat Simmons, and thank you for taking public comment now. I came from Gardnerville, and I'm happy to be able to speak my piece. I come from third generation Nevada family, hunting, fishing, ranching family. This bear hunt that has been allowed to happen in the state of Nevada has absolutely devastated me, as well as my family. I've been out getting petitions. I personally got over 200, my children and I. I probably came into contact with maybe 2 people who were against the bear hunt in my time out in the public. I am most troubled by this. I had some notes here, you got me quick here. When I originally came to this organization, I started doing a lot of the research on how the hunts would be handled. And when I saw the first video on the houndsman and the pack of dogs that are released on the bears, I couldn't sleep for a week. I just thought it was the most inhumane, savage, unconscious thing I have ever seen in my life, to allow a pack of trained dogs to savage an animal. I'm pretty sure Michael Vick just went to jail for this. To then tree a bear and have it shot at point blank range out of a tree, to me in no way represents sportsmen in the state of Nevada or anywhere. I am so saddened by this. I took my kids up to the Lake Tahoe Wildlife Rehabilitation open house last week, and I was so happy to be able to show them what conscious people do with wildlife. And when we looked at the bears in the bear cam, my little girl looked up at me, she said, "Are these the same bears that are going to be released out into the wild just in time for hunting season?" And I said, sadly, yes. It doesn't make sense to me, ethically, morally, spiritually, in any way. And as I said, I grew up in a hunting family. I lived on a ranch in Smith Valley. We raised animals. But hunting for the sake of a trophy in no way represents anything that has to do with being a sportsman, and I would be most ashamed if the state of Nevada let this become a permanent hunt, because it's not a hunt, it's a slaughter, and it makes me very sad. So I just wanted to tell you that my children and 99% of the people I've spoken to are adamantly opposed to this hunt. So thank you very much for hearing me. Under three. By myself.
Coopcroft?
Are you good for me to stand if that's all right? My name is Sharon Kukoc.
Make sure you get closer to the, a little closer to the microphone.
My name is Sharon Kukoc. I'm a member of the NoBearHuntNevada.org. I've been before you several times. I live in Incline Village. I'm a realtor by profession. I have a grave concern that this hunt will impact tourism, summer and winter. Tourists financially support the entire Tahoe Basin. We are a prime destination resort. When we began in December, we were able to convince the Incline Village Board of Trustees to support the resolution currently in place, and that was to negate the bear hunt. Incline Village is in something referred to as Hunt Unit 194. I think everyone knows Mount Rose is 196, Spooner and Marlette are 192. The state of Nevada has no, this is a grave concern to me, the state of Nevada has no requirements regarding public safety. This should have been addressed by this commission before voting for the bear hunt. A point in fact, this 1,000-foot imaginary boundary from hiking trails is ridiculous. How can game wardens begin to police this hunting rule? How does a dog know when to stop if he's over 1,000 feet in a pack? I hike and snowshoe these trails that are within these 1,000-foot boundaries. The lack of no safety net in place whatsoever is inviting the potential for a terrible, terrible incident. Gentlemen, that could happen. Hopefully it won't. I have talked to people who now will carry firearms in the event of a wounded bear or dog suddenly appearing. So now we will have hunters and shooters. It's a disaster that can happen, and that will come to your home to roost. This hunt should not happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buck Sampson?
Buck was the, came earlier, yes, I think he may have already did his comments.
Ricker?
My name's Catherine Ricker, and I'm with No Bear Hunt Nevada. Commissioners, your decision on whether to make the bear hunt a permanent regulation may well be a defining moment in the legacy of the Nevada sportsman's relationship with the Nevada public. For 82 consecutive years, the leadership of Nevada sportsmen has determined that in Nevada, the bear should remain protected. When I questioned Deputy Director Rich Hoskins about this, he told me that former commissions had protected the bear since 1929, primarily for sociological reasons. So why did this most recent commission depart from the traditional judgment of those before? Commissioner Rain and Chairman Macbeth, I have appreciated your honesty with the public and letting us know that the commission proposed this bear hunt simply because a group of sportsmen requested it. So who is this hunt for, the public asked? Last year, according to Endow records, 19,244 Nevadans purchased a hunting license. That is 1% of the population of Nevada of 2.7 million people. Of the 1% of Nevadans who chose to have a hunting license last year, under 6% of those applied for a tag to kill a bear. On the other hand, I think it is a factual statement that the public of Nevada overwhelmingly opposes the hunt. 98% of the 3,000 comments that NDOW originally received on the hunt opposed it. We will be presenting 15,000 comments today of people who oppose this hunt. As Shireen pointed out, the major organizations of Lake Tahoe have passed resolutions opposing the hunt, including the North Lake Tahoe Visitors and Convention Bureau, among several others. I would ask that this commission restore the public's trust in our allowing the leadership of 1% of Nevada's population to be making 100% of the decisions regarding our wildlife. Their traditional Nevada sportsman has up to now carried the trust of the public, and this trust is eroding rapidly, and a growing sense of disenfranchisement is setting in. An editorial in this week's North Lake Tahoe paper was entitled, "The Death of Bears, the Death of Democracy." I ask that this commission return to the responsible stewardship and tradition of former Nevada sportsmen who have comprised the majority of seats on this commission by making the decision to continue protecting bears and to respect the public will
15 seconds.
when administering a public trust. We thank the Washoe County Advisory Board for having done so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Butner?
Hi, I'm Misty Bedner. I'm a full-blooded Washoe Indian, and I'm speaking for myself today. The Washoe Indians have lived where the bears have lived in Nevada for a very long time. To the Washoe, the bear is a sacred animal. The current reasons for hunting the bear goes against our deeply held beliefs. It was sad to me that the Washoe had to fight in court for 15 years to protect the sacred site at Lake Tahoe, Cave Rock. It is even sadder to me now that I have to come here today to ask you to respect our sacred animal, the bear. Please consider the effect of your decision on the people like me. Please continue to protect the bear. It is a Nevada tradition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dunbar?
Good afternoon. My name is Madonna Dunbar. I'm a resource conservation professional in Nevada. I'm a 13-year resident of Nevada at Lake Tahoe, and I now address you as a voting citizen of the state. As you know, the Nevada bear hunt is extremely unpopular with the public. The public are concerned about public safety and the impacts to the recreation economy at Lake Tahoe. The bear hunt is becoming a tremendous drain on agency staff resources, is a financial drain on public funds, and is basically being done so that as few as 6 and up to as many as 20 individuals will each enjoy a trophy hunt. The hunt will not address the urban-human bear conflicts and has the potential to exacerbate the existing situation. I would like to suggest that NDOW form a new working group that would develop a non-lethal bear management plan that would address the issues of habitat encroachment, provide staff with alternative management methods, and reinstitute public education about bears. I strongly suggest that the commission close the discussion on instituting any permanent bear hunt. And the reason why they say this is because there are bigger issues at hand. On June 29th, Governor Sandoval signed into law AB 167. AB 167 requires that by January 1st of 2012, the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners pass and begin the implementation of a coordinated statewide aquatic invasive species management plan to control and prevent the introduction and spread of species like quagga mussels and others. In addition, the commission needs to pass regulations to establish the annual inspection fee for watercraft and implement the program to begin inspecting boats at key locations. Nevada is the only western state without an aquatic invasive species management plan. This is a huge task for you with a deadline less than 6 months away. And as you know, a majority of NDOW funding comes from boating and fishing fees, not just necessarily from hunting tags. Recently, there were verifications of zebra and quagga mussels at both Lahontan Reservoir and Rye Patch Reservoir. These invasive species, such as quagga and zebra mussels, destroy fisheries, they wreak havoc on boating, recreation, piers, water intakes, and other structures. Once they are in a water body, they cannot be removed or eradicated. Last week, there was a boat stopped during the inspection process at Lake Tahoe coming from another Nevada water body, Lake Mead, with verified mussels on board. Thankfully, that boat was stopped from the Tahoe inspection program. But water is one of Nevada's most precious community resources. We don't have enough inspection programs in the rest of the state to deal with this, and you guys are charged with getting this done in 6 months. If those mussels get introduced to Lake Tahoe, we lose the jewel of the Sierra. So I ask you please to concentrate on the bigger picture. As stewards of Nevada's natural resources, please attend to the task at hand with AB 167. Permanently table the bear hunt and get moving on 167.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Martini?
Hi, Margaret Martini, coming to you as a Nevada citizen and a native Nevada citizen. So I'd like to include this in the minutes, the narrative of today's minutes as they were omitted from the January meeting. Mr. Carl Lackey, who is NDOW's bear biologist, statement in January's NDOW meeting that he wouldn't speculate on the numbers of bears without more studies. And NDOW's statement, RE bears, there's a relatively low numbers and fragmented habitat which has led to the protective status of the animal in Nevada. This was prior to you approving the hunt. So what has changed since these two statements? Nothing. This hunt was based on 2004 science numbers, or in reality, no current science supporting the arbitrary NDOW claims that purportedly support the hunt. All of a sudden, in 2011, there are statements from Mr. Lackey and or NDOW that the bear population is growing at 16% a year, with absolutely no reason or scientific data to support this increase since December 2010. And what is the big secret about where the disposal of the killed urban bears? NDOW is a public agency which is supposed to be transparent in its actions and documentation. Please explain the difficulty in obtaining this information. Plus, there is only one game warden to enforce compliance in the hunt areas in regulation of the bear hunt. You are responsible for the public trust. You need to listen to the public and act accordingly. You have 12,000 people or 1,200 people that applied for tags, and you have about 15,000 people verified against this hunt. The ratios there are unbelievable, and still you sit there and say that the bear hunt is going forward, which is directly against what you're directed to do, which is to listen to the public, and you are stewards of the public trust. So for less than 1% of the Nevada people that apply for a hunting license, and 0.6% of that have applied for a bear permit, including non-residents, that is such a minute percentage or representation of the population that I think you really need to realize that the public does not want this, and you need to look at the numbers, all of them.
Thank you.
Al Taylor? Brett Jefferson?
For the record, Brett Jefferson, Washoe County, speaking on behalf of myself today. I would like to start off by saying I guess I'm a member of that 1%. I'm a bear hunter. I hunt bears in Idaho. My family hunts bears in Idaho. We eat bears. We eat deer. We eat pheasants. We eat chukar. And bear is a part of what we do in our sports family. The idea that NDOW has decided that based upon sound science, that there is a sustainable bear population that's available to sportsmen to hunt, I think that it's unfair for me to be denied that opportunity to be able to apply for that hunt and have the opportunity to go out and hunt a bear in Nevada and not have to travel to California to hunt bears right across. Those are Nevada bears that wander into California. They get shot in California. I mean, those bears don't know where the state line is and stop at it and go, oh, geez, I can't go into California because I'll get hunted there. Those bears, they go back and forth. The idea that the population isn't growing is pretty much ridiculous from my point of view. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a biologist, but the number of bear encounters in urban situations has dramatically increased over the last few years, which is an obvious indication that the population is growing and the bears are being pressured into urban areas. I don't think that it takes a scientist to come to that conclusion. So I would urge you to continue on your path to support this bear hunt and give Nevada sportsmen the opportunity to hunt bears in Nevada and not have to go out of state to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hayes?
My name is Mark Hayes, and I'm a longtime Nevada resident, was born here. I've enjoyed hunting and I've enjoyed fishing. But the bear is not a prey animal. It has sacred animal spirit status attached to it. Like eagles, parrots, etc., lions, pet cats, etc., wolves, dogs, etc. It's like breaking an Indian treaty after 80 years, 80 plus years of protection. Why now? We should be proud over Nevada's long protection. If I fix something when it's not broken, it can only be improved with time. There has to be some sacred animals, if just for the world's sanity as it relates to peace in the world. If you only knew how powerful the bear presence is in our parallel earth-heaven equation, we should be more respectful of its status. There's so much gun activity as it is right now, with 2+ wars, street violence, across the border. As it is, where's our place of peace during tumultuous times? If you're playing God with nature, decisions should play by God's playbook. To kill a beautiful creature to kill a beautiful, innocent creature as a bear, even esoteric wisdom tells me that's wrong. Go Bears. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bertoldi?
For the record, Michael Bertoldi, I'm past president of Nevada Bighorns Unlimited. We're a sportsman group that represents about 4,000 sportsmen in the state. We support the bear hunt for the following reasons. Number one, it's based on sound science. It's supported by the bear biologist, the aforementioned Carl Lackey, who cares a lot more about the bears than a lot of the people in this room. I know Carl personally, and I know how much he cares about the bear. The second thing is that, like it or not, hunting is a management tool that's used by departments of wildlife. And the bear is the only big game animal in Nevada that's not being managed by a hunt. And that's why MBU supports this hunt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dixon?
No, thank you.
No.
Different?
Different Dixon.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Merlin Dixon, and I'm from the Fallon, Nevada area. I live at the Fallon Shoshone Indian Reservation, and I'm here to represent myself. I have a prepared statement here, and I would like to present this statement here to the commission for another record. But in the meantime, I'd like to read this statement here. August 11th, to whom it may concern. The legal battles involved with the Nevada bear hunt continues. What is right for the bear population has been lost in this issue. The state of Nevada has given bears protection from indiscriminate killing. The Nevada Department of Wildlife biologists should begin research on the state's bears immediately. Has the bear population been increasing, decreasing, and/or expanding its range from the forested areas of Lake Tahoe, Nevada region? As the human population is increasing and expanding in the Lake Tahoe, Nevada area, including neighboring communities, the bear population appears to have grown because of decreased bear habitat, forested lands, meadows, streams, forest fires, etc., because of expanding developments, etc. As a result, a few bears can be seen looking for foods. It's believed the number of bears in Nevada are not at record levels. The people living in the Lake Tahoe area community should be made aware and sensitized to supporting the bear's existence, habitat, way of life, etc., and addressing the real problems. The respected officials of the state of Nevada should make it clear they would not play politics with issues concerning wild management of the bears. This bear hunt having a similarity of shooting bears in a zoo. The bear hunt ought to be canceled and a 5-year moratorium on the bear hunt be placed in effect immediately. The bear have a significant spiritual profundity with the native Indian culture. Annual ceremonies are held throughout the Sierra Nevada mountain ranges to honor the sacred bears.
15 seconds.
Moreover, there were no consultation and meeting with the Nevada Indian tribes for discussion about the bear hunt, especially when the traditional Indian people have a highly spiritual and cultural acknowledgments with the bears. I strongly oppose
Mr. Dixon, your 3 minutes. I see you have a prepared statement.
Yes.
Could you submit that to us, and we'll get it into the record? So even though you weren't able to finish it,
Yes.
We'll have it in the record. Okay.
Okay. I have 10 copies.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
For you guys, if you need any more.
Okay. We have a lot of people who want to talk, and so we're really holding
Tim
tight to
Miller,
the three-minute rule. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim Miller? Billy Howard?
Okay. I'll load it on.
Do you have any questions? Billy Howard, Reno, Nevada. I'm an organizer for NoBearHuntNevada.org. Congratulations to the new and the returning board members and your chairmanship, Mr. Macbeth. I had a chance to speak with Mr. Drew a couple of weeks ago in the parking lot at Endow. I found it very insightful, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you more, sir. This is an update on our campaign. Currently, we've been gathering signatures from locals, mostly people in Nevada and some people who live in California, they're residents. This represents 4,300 signatures that we've gathered in a little less than 8 weeks. When we ask people for signatures, these are Nevada, it starts California here, so this is the majority of Nevadans. And this is what's on the disc that I gave to Suzanne, so she can forward that to data-wise. When we ask people for their signature, we also ask them to take a page. So you'll hear people saying that, oh, there's 5,000 signatures. We have probably over 5,000 signatures. I just haven't been able to process them yet. They're coming into our post office box in huge numbers every day, higher and higher piles. The overwhelming concern from the public, and I speak to a lot of people about the hunt, is that it isn't for the benefit of the bear. Most people in the public believe that NDOW allows hunts because populations need culling, and therefore hunters use the animals for food, and a careful balance is maintained throughout. They are concerned, quite frankly, and disturbed in some cases, that this hunt is different than that. The hunt doesn't seem so much a matter of biological consideration, that we must have a hunt for the consideration of the bears. And therefore, the public feels a little more than usual to be compelled to weigh in on this issue. At times, those of us who oppose the bear hunt have been characterized, or mischaracterized, I would say, as people who are across the board against hunting. And I just hope you consider that our organization is broad. There are people who have claimed to be hunters who aren't supporting the hunt. And there's just a big variety of people, so please do consider that and give us that respect, if you will. And also, to conclude, please consider a re-examination of the bear hunt regulation based on social, political sentiment, as well as the necessity of harming the public's wildlife. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's it for the cards that had wanted to speak on public comment. Now I have cards with multiple people that said they want to speak on multiple agenda items, and that's all I have left.
Do you want to name them off and see if you want to do it?
Mr. Chairman, there might be a member of the audience that may have turned in a card, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear my name go.
Okay.
Come on up.
Yeah, my name is Tim Miller, and I'm here kind of representing No Bear Hunt Nevada. I'm from Reno. While there are many reasons why I'm against this bear hunt, I'd like to point out a couple of points on that matter. First of all, according to your hunt area unit map, units 192, 194, and 196, which are in the Tahoe Basin, basically, are included in the bear hunt area. And those areas are also, of course, as was pointed out, are also multi-use recreational areas that are used by hikers and bikers and horseback people and so on. And there's a potential big conflict, potential disaster in having a bear hunt go on in those areas while you've got people doing those kinds of things. So that's one thing I'd like to point out. Another is you seem to have been ignoring the large volume of opposition to this thing. The Washoe County Advisory Board voted against it. That's one point. The Incline Village has also voted against it. And not to mention the thousands of signatures that have been obtained by No Bear Hunt Nevada. And you just saw a large group submitted just now. Also, there was a large batch of emails sent, that several thousand anyway, and of those several thousand, about 98% were against the bear hunt, with about 2% supporting it. So those are a couple of things I'd like to point out. And it just seems like in ignoring what the public seems to be for, you have, you do work, you are a government agency, so you do represent the citizens of Nevada, and therefore you should be paying attention to what those citizens have to say. you don't seem to be doing it. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Yeah. Hold on, let me, for everybody in the room that is put in a card that has the general, that you wanted to be on every agenda item, why don't we just ask you to come up rather than read the names? So anybody else, or let's just make it easy, anybody else in the room who wants to get up 3 minutes and talk about the bear issue.
Ladies before gentlemen. I will, but give me a break. She beat me.
Chairman Macbeth and board members, my name is Judy Karen for the record, and I'm a member of the Conservation Hunting Community of Nevada. I have bought or held a hunting and fishing license since I moved here from California. I think it was 1973 or 74. And I've always been proud of our department underneath different directors. I've learned a lot from the commission. I'm not a biologist. I trust the science. I enjoy the action reports, the biological reports that have been put out. If it has to do with pronghorn, deer, bear. I support your judgment. I support our biologists. Hunters have never impacted the extinction of any huntable species. And I support the bear hunt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mel Belding, Washoe County, lifelong resident of Nevada. I've got a few things to say. I believe the 1% population of the state of Nevada being hunters is dead wrong. I believe there are more than 19,000 or 20,000. I think that number's around 60,000. At 19,000, we would not exist as a fishing, as a Department of Wildlife. That's clears that up. The bear hunt. I didn't apply to hunt. I didn't apply to put in a tag. I support it. I don't want a bonus point for it, but I do support the hunt. I support the Department of Wildlife. The Washoe County Advisory Board, that's what I testified, did not vote against the bear hunt. They did not vote against making a permanent regulation. What they simply voted against is what they stressed as the process of how it went. So I think that clarification needs to be made. I think something that's real important is the fact that a lot of these bears, sometimes as many as 50 bears a year, get whacked because they get in a garbage can 3 times. And now a sportsman wants to maybe do something about a problem bear, and I respect the Native American for what they feel about the bear. But I didn't hear this outcry when this bear got whacked because he got in a garbage can 3 times. I didn't hear this outcry when a bear went and broke a tree that was probably planted illegally in the forest. But he had to get run out of the country because he broke a tree. I can't believe that we cannot come to an agreement on how we can manage these bears in a civil way and really take action or take responsibility for our actions. Your neighbor can call in on a bear because he broke in the garbage can, and he did it twice down the road, so let's whack him. And it's a sportsman that's been paying for this regulation. Again, I support the bear hunt, and I think there's better ways to manage this situation that we're in rather than just having public comment about it. Let's get a working group going, and let's see where we can come to. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll try to be quick. My name is Josh Vittori, representing myself from Washoe County. I'm going to talk on 2 items. Very briefly, I'll touch on the bear. I agree with the previous comments of Mel and a few comments of others that there's got to be a way we can work through this. I am in support of the bear hunt. I am one of the unsuccessful applicants. I look forward to going out with a very close friend who drew a tag, but I also respect the bear hunt in that it is a management tool for a population that is obviously increasing on a yearly basis. So that's all I'm going to comment on regarding that issue. My other comment is on, I won't be able to make it here tomorrow, agenda item number 22, which is commission regulation, migratory waterfowl. I just wanted to make a really quick comment. Most of the NDAL staff that I wanted to tell thanks to have left, but over 2 years ago, a group of waterfowlers in northeastern Nevada, one of whom was me. I recently moved over to Reno. We decided that we felt that there was a lot of freeze up and we were missing out on a lot of opportunity. And this isn't the first time I've been in front of the board discussing this. Very briefly, I just want to say thank you. That's one of the only things I've been involved in that actually occurred properly, from the sportsman to the CAB to the commission to the department to the Pacific Flyway Council, and here we are about to set regulations on a third waterfowl zone in northeastern Nevada. So kudos to everyone that's involved. With that being said, it's very important that that season opens at the beginning of October. So those are my 2 cents on that issue. Anything you guys can do to increase hunter opportunity. There's not a lot of waterfowlers. I think you saw $80,000 in funds approximately from the state duck stamp and about $240,000 from Upland. So clearly there aren't that many of us, but we appreciate being heard, and anything you guys can do to help us out. And also, if there's any amendments to NDOW's proposed season dates, especially that will favor youth hunters and provide more opportunity, I think that's a very, very good idea. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Dr. Moldy.
You retired this morning.
Mr. Chairman, Don Mulder, Reno, Nevada. Mel Belding made me do this. If he hadn't gotten up, I would. Actually, he's turning into my new, more recent version of Ira Hansen. It used to be.
Lord,
I would vie to see who could speak
Lord, I
after each other.
apologize.
And I want you to know that I'm going to get him a new license plate. It's going to say garbage can on it instead of guzzler. So it's coming soon. Anyway, my comment is brief. I'm opposed to the hunt, of course, not because I have any doubt about the biology issue. It's simply that every decision, it seems to me, that you people make have 2 parts. One is, can we do it? The other is, should we do it? And in this case, I think the should we do it aspect of the decision fails. It's clear the public is overwhelmingly opposed to this hunt. It doesn't make any sense from a PR point of view. And from that standpoint alone, I think the hunt is a bad idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I read?
Anybody else? Okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to tackle any of these other informational items, or did it tomorrow? Okay.
I sent those to staff on.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, there being no further public comment, I'll entertain a motion to, oh no, we don't adjourn. Yes.
Recessing.
We're recessing. We're recessing until tomorrow morning at, what's the time? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.